morning, students, parents, teachers. Welcome to the 2021 State Science Day Award Ceremony. If, just for housekeeping, if you could keep yourselves muted, we would appreciate it. It would lead to a higher quality presentation. State Science Day wouldn't be possible without the support of generous sponsors. They allow us to really conduct this as a year-round program, preparing throughout the school year and leading student projects into both local, district, and state competitions. A big thank you to each of our title sponsors for State Science Day. My name's Michael Wojtek. I'm the Executive Director of the Ohio Academy of Science. And this is our 73rd State Science Day, 73rd Annual State Science Day. The pandemic hasn't slowed us down the last 2 years. This is really a recognition and an honor for me to receive each of you students. I know it has not been an easy year. You've persevered, you've gotten through, and sometimes it meant not spending enough time in the lab or even having access to a lab. In some cases, maybe not even having enough access to your advisors or your instructors. You still put together the group of students that are in this call have really excelled. They've wowed everybody with their research, the questions that they've asked, and the direction of their projects. We wouldn't have been successful without several key people. I want to thank Dr. Martin English. Dr. English is the director of our Junior Academy Council, and he's also the District 1 chair. Mrs. Angela McMurray is also the District 1 co-chair, and she recently became the Director of Program Operations at the Ohio Academy of Science. We're very excited to have Angela join our group. And then here, our staff, Dory Gruber and Allie Gruber, we wouldn't have been able to complete it without their hard work, their diligence, and their perseverance. Thank you for making this a reality. So with that, we're going to go through, we're going to introduce each of our presenters, and they will be receiving students who were recognized by the awards that they sponsor at State Science Day. So Director Lydia Mahalik is the director of the Ohio Development Services Agency. Since 1985, the Ohio Development Service Agency has sponsored the Governor's Thomas Edison Awards for student research and excellence in STEM education. Prior to being selected to Governor DeWine's cabinet, Director Mahalik served as the 55th mayor of the city of Findlay and was the first woman to do so. She is a champion for small business and workforce development. Here to receive the Governor's Thomas Edison awardees, I'm proud to present Director Lydia Mahalik.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. It really is great to be here on behalf of myself and Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Husted. We're just very excited for all of the students and the families. Congratulations to all of this year's scholarship winners and all of the participants in general. This is a really exciting program, and we are so pleased to be able to be here to support you on your journeys. So I'm told each of you, you've identified a problem or created a design element. You have created a research plan, you've tested your results, and then you've presented them for review. And the process that you used really is the same process that's used each day at different universities and companies across the country, right here in Ohio. And they use this process to find cures to illnesses, to streamline manufacturing, and to help create new technology that really has a meaningful impact, not only on our economy, but our lives. STEM research leads to new industries and businesses, which we love because that helps to create jobs. And really over the last year, our world-class researchers, our scientists, our biotechnology companies, and our medical institutions developed new treatments and testing for COVID. There were new technologies to help patients recover. There were methods to help deliver vaccinations across the country, and a lot of innovations to help people stay safe. And here in Ohio, a couple of examples of that. We've got Identify Sensors, who developed an in-home device that can actually test for COVID-19. And now they're working to expand that technology to allow for testing for many other diseases with results, and then send that directly to your phone. And then there's Sterling Ultra Cold from Athens, which we are very proud of. They created the only line of ultra cold freezer systems that are capable of storing that mRNA vaccine, which allowed it to be transported across the country. And more than 4,000 bioscience companies, a growing talent pool of more than 81,000 employees, top-ranked hospitals and universities, and some very passionate entrepreneurs. We're very happy that they all call Ohio home. Path Robotics is changing the landscape of welding. Founded by a couple of brothers, Andy and Alex Lonsberry, while working as engineering consultants, they worked to answer this question. Is there a way that you could make a robot make all of the adjustments that a human welder could make while working? And the answer was this AI-enabled welding robot. And now the company has 100 employees right here in Columbus and is positioned for some incredible growth. There's Safety Skin, founded by competitive runner John Colbus. And he created the world's first reflective spread that kind of uses a deodorant style stick applicator to create reflective marks on your skin or on apparel that's easily removed with soap and water. And it's a replacement, for those vests that people have had to wear in the past that actually might impact a biker's or a runner's performance. And then there's Don Dixon, who started Popcom, which developed Pop Shop, which is a super smart vending machine. And the software they developed collects data to allow different retailers to better understand and interact with their customers. And all of these companies are a result of a STEM education and a vision by its founder to answer a question or solve a problem. And we want you, all of you, to be a part of that community right here in Ohio. There are companies like these all across the state. And quite frankly, they're looking for students just like you. So please remember, as you're continuing your education, that the cool jobs and technology companies aren't just all hanging out on the East and the West Coasts, but they're actually right here in Ohio. And you can be a part of technology companies and entrepreneurs that are making some significant strides in helping shape the Ohio of tomorrow. And I hope each one of you will remain curious and creative, and maybe keep these words in mind from Dr. Soares, who is from Identify Sensors that I was talking about earlier. He said a fundamental piece of scientific progress is having an imagination. I can show you a little bit of transparent liquid and say, well, this is DNA. But unless you can visualize and imagine what I'm talking about, you're probably really not going to understand it. Albert Einstein, for instance, used to have these mental experiments, and he would picture himself traveling on a photon of light and what that perspective would look like. And that takes a lot of creativity, some deep thinking, and a concerted effort to take your mind somewhere not too many people have gone before and dig deeper and deeper with creativity. It takes a creative mind to push boundaries and to solve problems. I can't wait to see the boundaries that you will push and all of the problems that you will solve. So best of luck to each and every one of you as you continue your education. And remember that your future, you can find it here in Ohio. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Director Mahalik. I appreciate those words of encouragement and the recognition of the students. To each of the Governor's Thomas Edison awardees, again, congratulations and thank you for your contributions to science here in Ohio. Thank you again, Director Mahalik. Ms. Carolyn Watkins, if you've joined the call. Carolyn, are you on the call? Okay, I can also screen share and go through the awards as well. Carolyn was she couldn't be with us. She is with the Ohio EPA and is representing Director Lori Stevenson. Ms. Watkins leads the EPA's Office of Environmental Education, who is a longtime sponsor and award provider at State Science Day. I could think of no one who is more committed to State Science Day. Every year, she leads a dedicated team of volunteers who evaluate each of the students' projects that apply for the Governor's Award for Excellence in Environmental Protection. Here to receive those awardees is Carolyn, and I will receive the awardees on her behalf. The award categories are for awards and excellence in environmental protection. They're offered by grade. And here we have our 7th grade awardees. Our 8th grade awardees. Ninth grade awardees. 10th grade awardees, our 11th grade awardees, and our 12th grade awardees. Each of these students have excelled in providing us with more information about our environment and how to protect it. And in many cases, I see the students' names and recognize them for being award-winning on a consistent basis year in, year out. At this point, I would like to introduce Mr. Tim Gorell, the Executive Director for the Ohio Tuition Trust Authority. The Ohio Tuition Trust Authority supports both District Science Day and State Science Day as a sponsor and award provider. The awards are the College Advantage 529 Award. Mr. Gorell has also served the state of Ohio as Deputy Inspector General and Director of Veteran Services. Here to receive the College Advantage 529 awardees is Mr. Tim Gorell.
Thank you, Mike, and good morning, everyone. In 1865, the Reverend J.P. Gulliver asked Abraham Lincoln how he came to acquire his famous rhetorical skill. The president gave an unusual response. In the course of my law reading, I constantly came upon the word demonstrate. I thought at first I understood its meaning, but soon became satisfied that I did not. At last, I said, Lincoln, you can never make a lawyer if you don't understand what demonstrate means. And I left my situation in Springfield, went to my father's house, and stayed there until I could give any propositions in the 6 books of Euclid at sight. So not the Constitution, not scripture, but geometry. That's what gave Lincoln, that's where Lincoln went when he needed to learn to persuade. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, not an opinion poll, not popular culture, fad, or some other emotional whim, but information, data grounded in fact, help us understand through research, study, and analysis why things are the way they are and what, based in sound scientific logic, can be done to influence our current condition to make life better, whether it be climate, environment, medicine, or technological advances. We at Ohio's 529 plan celebrate all of you. and the achievement that you've accomplished here and what we're recognizing today. And we're delighted to contribute to your educational savings as you continue your journey, which we encourage you to do. So again, congratulations to all the award recipients, and we really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gurrell. And thank you again for sponsoring awards at both District Science Day and State Science Day. This is an important part of our program, as it encourages students to stay persistent with their STEM research or their engineering design focus. And we hope that they continue this as it leads to post-secondary opportunities. And again, thank you so much. As we can continue in our program, we always recognize the multi-year awardees. These are students that have been to State Science Day for a multiple number of years, and we start with our 4-year awardees. Bear in mind, we've had a couple of years that have been online formatted in a virtual competition, but prior to that, the events were held at The Ohio State University, and I know for each of you, you have many other competing priorities, and for you to make it consistently to State Science Day for a number of years is really amazing. It shows your dedication and your persistence, and we hope that that's reflective of your love of science and engineering, and you continue on this path beyond your high school years. When we start getting into our 6-year awardees, this starts to become rarefied air. It's very difficult to achieve this for students that, like I said, there's a lot of things that can happen. Students need to advance from a local fair, they need to advance from a district fair, and they actually need to attend and present at State Science Day. So again, congratulations to each of our awardees. What I would like to do now is, if we do have an 8-year awardee, our 8-year awardee is Aurora Ferris of Canfield High School, and she is there are only 2 other students. She's one of 3 who have successfully competed at State Science Day for 8 years. This is in grades 5 through 12. We have a 73-year event, and we have only 3 students that have accomplished this. If Aurora is on the call, I would like to, obviously extend my congratulations to her personally, but I would also like to have her describe to us why State Science Day and why it's important to her, and how she was able to do this for 8 consecutive years. And also perhaps a look into what her future plans are. So Aurora, if you're on the call, Mrs. McMurray will try to find you and unmute you.
I don't see her.
Am I unmuted now?
Oh, there you are. I was like, I just found you right when you came. There you go.
That's okay. Thank you guys so much for hosting this. I'm so appreciative of everything you guys have done to set up this program. It's been such a huge part of my life, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And the reason I love it so much is because I really love STEM, and it's definitely something that motivates me to learn more about my surroundings. And I just feel like it's a very integral part of just everyday life, especially for me in the last part of my life. I've just really enjoyed it. And for me, I chose to do science fair because I feel like it'll help me with my future plans. And so far, I'm going to YSU to do my prereqs, and I'm going to run cross country and track at YSU. And I'm doing my prereqs for Neomed's pharmacy early assurance program. I made it in as a high school senior, and I'm looking forward to a career in pharmacy. And I know that science fair has helped me because I've learned much about the scientific method, and that'll definitely prepare me for my future. And I'm very grateful, and it's been very difficult to compete every year with all my other things going on in my life, but I've prioritized it because I know it's such a valuable experience for me. And sometimes it's been difficult with failure, and it's been hard to get experiments to work, but just keeping working at it. And even if something doesn't go right the first time, there's been a couple times I've had to adjust and plan and just change things around to get everything to work out. But in the end, I'm very glad that I kept persistent and that I just made sure I was able to compete in the science fair and just get through it every year. And I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And it was just a really great experience for my life. So once again, I'd like to thank you guys for setting everything up. I'd like to thank my dad, who's an electrical engineer and who has really helped me also with my science fair. And I'd like to thank some of my middle school teachers from my old school, Willow Creek Learning Center, who introduced me to science fair. And they helped teach me how to set up experiments and set up my papers. And I'm very thankful for that. So thanks again for setting up this program. And I'd like to wish everybody luck and encourage everyone to compete in state science fair and to continue to compete in the state science fair too. And thank you again.
Thanks, Aurora. Awesome. Thank you so much. You know, I'm a baseball fan, and so when they talk about baseball, it's a game of failure. When you do something at a 30% rate, that means, you know, if you're hitting or, you know, on offense, you're absolutely excelling despite the fact that you failed 70% of the time. And when I hear Aurora talk, science is even, it is a big game of failure. But every time you fail, you've learned something about the process and something about yourself. So to hear her talk about it in those terms, that's very gratifying. I would like to move on to recognize the schools who have received the Harold C. Shaw Memorial Outstanding School Award. This is both this takes a number of students and a number of students excelling, doing exceptional work, receiving superior rated projects at State Science Day. There is a formula for it. This year we had 197 schools participating in State Science Day, and of those, 15 of them were recognized with the Harold C. Shaw Memorial Outstanding School Award, and they are Anna High School, Archbishop Alter High School, Athens High School, Beaumont School, Bellbrook Middle School, Bloom Carroll High School, Gahanna Lincoln High School, Mason Middle School, Sylvania Northview High School, Charles Borromeo in Kettering, St. Columban, Summit Country Day, the University School, Tippecanoe Middle School, and William Mason High School. Some of these schools are, in fact, we see them show up on a very consistent basis, and what it says is that they place inquiry-based research and engineering design as a priority in their STEM education. And again, thank you for competing at State Science Day, and congratulations for receiving the Harold C. Shaw Memorial Award. So with that, I'd like to thank each of our presenters. I would like to acknowledge, again, our students. This will be posted on the Academy's YouTube channel, and we will also link that back to our website, and I'll provide and make sure each of you have a copy of that link. Is one other last housekeeping bit of information. I know everybody's going to be saying my awards, my certificates, swag. We are about to undertake a humongous mailing. It takes quite a bit of effort, but we've got it very well coordinated. It'll be just done like it was last year. I think we have a lot of items for each of the students, which are kind of unique. And I think you'll really enjoy the package that comes to you. And you'll probably see that sometime in early July. It takes a while to put it together. The post office, we come at them in waves, and we'll do it for about 3 or 4 straight days. But again, you should see that in early July. So with that, I want to thank everybody for being here, especially Director Mahalik, Mr. Durrell, and who I think provided, excellent words for you to take, for you to be inspired by. And I thank you for inspiring each of us. It really has given us a look into the future, and our future is very bright with having you pursue STEM education. Thank you so much, and that will conclude our call.